Hey everybody, thanks for coming to the chat. We are live. It is Wednesday, January 9th, and this is another Old Dogs chat. Hey everybody. So, people in the chat, let me know if you can hear me. Is everything working? Sound and picture and everything's okay? Hello Nora, hello Scotcha, hello Corey, hello Vance, hello 352204, hello 67350. So you're already talking about my underwear. Well, I don't wear boxers. I like to know where everything is at all times, you know. But I like boxer briefs. But I don't know. Back in the day, I actually kind of liked bikini briefs, but I should be mortified to admit that. I know. Anyway, welcome to the live chat. I'm totally stream of consciousness and off topic, but here we are. Eek. I know. Well, you know, it was the 80s. Big hair and little underwear. Anyway, lots to talk about tonight. I should look at the camera instead of looking at the questions, and then I'll look down occasionally. If it gets to be a lot of questions and I don't keep up, Lawrence is in the other room watching. I can have him come in and read me questions. First of all, we are going to draw a winner. We had 4 people who guessed the correct answer to the trivia question. What was my first paying showbiz job? And it was only just barely paying. And the correct answer was this little place called the Club Show Bar in Indianapolis. Yeah, speaking of the 80s, this was early 80s. Do you guys want to hear the story of it? I'll keep it really brief. A friend of mine who fancied himself a drag queen was the MC of an weekly amateur night at this gay bar, the Club Show Bar in Indianapolis. And he asked me if I would be his male lead one week so he could do a duet. It was Suddenly, Olivia Newton-John, from Xanadu. So I said, yeah, sure, why not? Sounded like fun. And as it turns out, the show director of their weekend show, their professional main stage show, was there that night and asked me to come in and perform one weekend, and I did. And she asked me to come in and sort of be the male lead on the weekend shows, and then I got a chance to perform myself. So yeah, got paid maybe $20 a night, which isn't really much, but when you're 20, yes, I wasn't even legal drinking age. I had to hang out in the dressing room, and I did it for about 6 months, and that was my first paying showbiz gig. So anyway, 4 people that got that answer right from my website or Old Dog's website or something. So we're going to draw your names. I'm going to autograph a copy of Day for Night and Living in Oblivion, 2 of my favorite showbiz movies about movies. I don't know if a lot of people know Day for Night. It's kind of the French version of Living in Oblivion. They're both great movies, and we'll be drawing your names in a little bit for that. I've got some questions emailed in. But before we get started with questions, I hope people are... Hey Philippe! Hi Philippe! I hope people will, everyone in the stream, type in questions, and because obviously I've prepared nothing. But anyway, before we go any further, I do want to remind you that we do have our merch on the website. This is the Muscles-inspired gym water bottle. We have these fabulous mugs, and these, once season 2 goes up, we're going to have new merch with season 2 graphics, which are being designed by a fabulous artist named Lisa Rubenstein on the East Coast, and they're going to be really cool stuff. But once that happens, these are going to go bye-bye. We're going to retire all the season 1 stuff. Nice magnet. Gotta be careful where I put the magnet. All sorts of good stuff. So they're gonna go bye-bye and be replaced. So if you want one of the season 1, soon to not be available anywhere, get them now at our website, olddogsnewtrickstheseries.com. You need a coffee after seeing. Favorite role. Okay. Oh, good. Questions. Oh, also on the in the merch, this won't go away, but we only have, I think, like maybe 5 or 6 copies left. Is Forgiving Troy by Tom Beards, and these happen to be, and I can prove it, autographed by the big guy himself, Mr. Tom Beards. So those are on there as well. So check out our website, check out our little gift shop, and okay. Let's questions. Favorite role? I probably, just off the top of my head, I'd have to say Quentin Crisp in Carved in Stone. Great part. It was a production that I also helped produce and was written by a very good friend of mine. So that was, it's more than just a part. Although Quentin Crisp is a great guy to play, I really loved everything about it. Also did a play called Message to Michael. I really liked that part a lot. I played a mass murdering mortician in a film called Final Remains, which was fun because I got to do stuff that I hardly ever get to do, namely kill people. And I don't know, that was a lot of fun. Nathan, though, I have to say, I'm really enjoying Nathan, so he's kind of like favorite film role now. I don't know, it's like the parts you play are like your children. You like them all for different reasons. You don't really have too many favorites. Yes, Nathan Adler, yes. Oh, wait, yes, thank you for mentioning that. That one was, I don't know if I would say that was one of my favorite roles, but it was one of my favorite jobs. I really worked hard on that one, and I'm pretty proud of it. So yeah. But yeah, Nathan Adler. Hi, Michael. Following Rifter. How did I stop smoking? How? I just cold turkey. And it's only day 9, so I would say stop instead of quit, because you never know. I've tried the patch, I've tried the gum, smoked with the patch on, I didn't smoke while chewing the gum, but I found I've quit many times, but the times that were most effective were cold turkey. I did try hypnosis, that came close, but I quit once for 8 months, another time for 6 months. I've quit for weeks at a time. Mostly I've just quit for hours or days at a time, so it's all up here, and I'm kind of at a point now where I just don't enjoy it. So that's a great reason to stop doing something if you just don't enjoy doing it. Cookies, that sounds really good. Hey, Lance. Nathan is hot. God bless you, Nora. I love Foucault Who. Foucault Who is a favorite too. See, that's the thing. It's like when people ask you who's your favorite actor you've worked with, you just can't pick one or even 3. Well, actually, I would have to say, on film I can say it's probably Foucault Who, Deer Season, the film I did for Arvin, and Nathan Adler are probably my 3 favorite film parts. And number 4 would be the murdering mortician. Anyway, okay, more questions. Cookies. I want cookies now. I'm craving cookies. Talk about Foucault. Ask me questions about Foucault. It's all up here. Best advice. It's all up here. I'm lapsed at the synapse. I don't get the reference. So, Ustreamer673050, Michael. Best advice. It's all up here. Tell it. Bring it up to speed. Help me. Anyway, we also have some questions. Nora emailed some questions. I asked actually Bruce Hart, Mr. Nelson Van Eddy himself, that annoying little I sent in some questions, so I'll get to some of these too. From Nora, if I could work with any actor or actress, who would it be? The first one, Stockard Channing. She's probably the #1 kind of role model in terms of I just admire how she's kept a career going, all this time, and her choice of work, and The fact that she's occasionally famous, but she's not like a tabloid, whatever. Jessica Lange. Are you all loving American Horror Story? We can talk about that tonight. I love American Horror Story. We can all play the name game. I've never been able to do that, but I've watched that clip so many times now that I've finally got the name game down. So, actors. Jeremy Irons, you know, I never really thought about it, but I saw him on Joy Behar or something the other day. And it kind of reminded me of all the parts, all the roles he's played in the movies I've enjoyed him in. And it's like, why am I not fanatical about him? I always enjoy him, and so yeah, he would be one. Oh, stopping smoking is all up here. You're absolutely right. It is all up here. And you know, I wouldn't say not to use the patch or not to use the gun for people it works for. I think like being gay, the reasons you smoke are many. There are a combination of different many reasons. My thing about smoking tends to be more the habit, more the ritual, more the triggers. I don't really have a problem with the actual chemical addiction that much. It's more of the, you know. So I like to actually get the nicotine out of my system as quickly as possible, which you can do in like 3 days if you drink a lot of water and eat some calcium. So that's just my own theory. Yes, I love Jeremy Irons too. What's it like working with a legendary performer like Ian Buchanan? It was, oh my God, it was just the best. He's the nicest guy, and you know he's is kind of a legend. So I wasn't sure what to expect. Although in all of his email correspondence, it was very nice. His first day of shooting was one of the days when we were shooting the wedding, and it was a day that we were shooting a lot of Greg Louganis' stuff, and he had to be there. I had to be very careful not to loose lips sink ships and web series. We were shooting Greg Louganis' stuff that day, and Greg was only there for 1 day. He had to go away for 2 weeks and then come back, so we were getting, so you know, I saw Ian and said hello, and then noticed, you know, as the day was going on, Ian was having to sit and wait a lot, and I was getting a little nervous, thinking, oh my God, you know. So after that first day, I sent him an email and thanked him for being so patient and apologized for, you know, making him sit and wait so much and not having as much to do his first day of shooting. And his response was so nice. And working with him, I get a little nervous. I'm not usually starstruck. I'm actually pretty cool with with meeting celebrities, but he's just got this old-time movie star vibe between the voice and the looks and his carriage and everything. I'm not even trying to imitate him, so don't even. But he's cool, and he's really anxious, he says, to come back for season 3, and without giving too much away. His appearances in season 2 sort of set up his character for a much bigger kind of storyline in season 3. So if season 3 happens, he'll be there. And actually having him there will probably help us make season 3 happen. So he's the best. No shirtless Ian this season. Well, as I said, season 3, does he do shirtless? I don't think I've ever. Well, I don't really watch daytime that much. He'll at least be in a wife beater in season 3 if we're so lucky. But no, he was really great. Any teasers I can give you regarding season 2? He has that effect on people about just the kind of intimidating movie star thing. But that's the thing. He's so nice that, you know, it's funny that he does have that kind of, because he's so not like the movie star with attitude. He's so nice. Will Doug be in season 3? I don't even know if I'll be in season 3, I believe. If there is a season 3, I really hope he will be. Actually, similar to Ian's character, Doug's character in season 2 is kind of setting up bigger things in season 3. I can't tell you more than that. Hopefully when you start watching the episodes of season 2, you'll sort of like go, oh, okay, I see where this is going, and you know, we only have 10 episodes. But you'll be happy to know most of the episodes are going to be longer. So far, all the episodes are longer than the season 1 episodes. They're averaging about 7.5 to 8 minutes. And this just in. Look at camera more. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much, Lawrence. That was Lawrence Whiting, our lovely and talented assistant. Okay. Fingers crossed for season 3. You're awesome, doing a great job here. Well, God love you. He does put you at ease. Ian does put you at ease right very quickly. Although I mean, you know, when we did his chat, lovely, lovely time and really interesting. But I was nervous the whole time. He's not someone I think I could hang with. Well, maybe after I work with him, and, you know, we've only had 3 days of shooting with him. But we'll see. We'll see. I really like him. I mean, he's just, there's no reason not to want to be his best friend. He's so cool. The teasers we gave you, ba ba boom. Well, you know, the teaser is just, oh, hi, Nora's mom. No, Nathan, no old dogs. No, well, thank you, Catherine. I agree with that. There can be no old dogs without Nathan. Well, first of all, because, you know, if I don't write it, well, that's stupid to say. Anyone could write it at this point. I don't mean anybody, but I mean, I'm not the only one who could write it at this point. Okay. The teasers. That teaser that we put up is only the first 2 episodes, and just little bits of the first 2 episodes. I mean, there's a lot more that happens this season than what you see in those clips. A lot more. I'm really excited about season 2. I just can't. I mean, I know it's only 3 weeks. It's like 3 more weeks. I'm dying to for y'all to see them. I'm really, from what I've seen the first 2 episodes and a rough cut of the 7th episode. I am so proud of the cast and the crew. The show looks so good. I mean, I shouldn't say this because I'm probably jinxing myself or sound really egotistical, but I don't take credit for what I'm saying about how good the show looks. I mean, that's totally the crew. It's totally the cast. If there's a weak link, it's probably the script at this point, because everybody else just delivered 300%, and I can't wait. I mean, it's killing me to be quiet. I'm dying to tell you what happens, but I'd rather you see what happens as it happens than me tell you. So, okay, let me get back to questions. I'm rambling. Are we going to do a DVD of season 1 and season 2? You know, we're thinking about that. You know, because season 1 was so short, we did do like a promotional DVD, but we didn't sell it. We need to check with the unions now that the merger between SAG and AFTRA is complete. I know some in the union say that, well, once a new media goes to a DVD, it's no longer new media, it's traditional media, and you have to pay accordingly. We need to see what the new rules are, and if we can pull it off, if it's not cost prohibitive, as they say, we'd like to probably do it for, you know, season 1 and 2. We'll call it the complete series so far. So yeah, that's once season 2 is finished, we'll look for news on that. I'd love to do it. We've got so much bonus material too. I mean, I think it would be fun. Okay, what do I think the impact will be on the entertainment space with so many incredibly watchable censored web series pulling in so much visibility these days? That sounds like a Lance question. the space, the word space gives it away. You know, I don't know. Are we having impact? I don't know. Maybe we are kind of subtly with individual executives, TV producers. I don't know. I would love someday to open my Entertainment Weekly and see a section about internet, you know, web entertainment. I'm not quite sure why magazines that review entertainment or cover entertainment aren't doing that yet, because I mean it's kind of exploding now. I mean, and that's just like in the past 2 years. I mean, a lot of this wasn't even happening when I was writing the show. Just since I came up with the idea and started writing to where we are today, web TV has really exploded, and I think it will eventually have an impact. I don't know how much impact. I think eventually it will all just kind of merge. And I'm hoping it's not going to be a situation where, you know, the channels that YouTube is giving money to, or the people who are getting financing from Hollywood or outside, you know, I hope it's not going to be where only they will succeed and the rest of us who are doing it grassroots will, you know, wither and die. I hope it'll change the rules somewhat, make it a bit more democratic. But other than that, Brian Rada, as he says, it's the wild, wild west, and who knows where it's going to go from here. I like to think of web TV as being sort of like how radio was in the late, or I'm sorry, how TV was in the late 40s. You know, people weren't really sure where it was going to go, but, you know, they kind of leapt into it. So, yeah, if that means we're like the bastard child of the other entertainment mediums. No, I don't think that's true. Because I think that's not true of TV anymore either. I'm rambling, aren't I? Yeah, you know, some shows do it. The Guild, Felicia's web series. I was in Barnes & Noble before it closed in the West Side Pavilion and flipping through the DVDs, and it's like, oh my God, there's season 3 of The Guild. So yeah, it's you know, some shows do it. So I think to get into stores we'd have to have a distributor, but we could certainly sell it on our website, and we want to if we can just, you know, if the unions don't make it too expensive. Guilty Lance question. See, I knew it. And, you know, also, before we get on to the idea of season 3, I mean, plans are, once season 2 is over, we're going to do an auction of some of the major props and scripts and things from season 2 to raise money for a bonus size Halloween special that I'm hoping we can shoot late summer of 2013 and get it on the air, you know, the week of Halloween 2013. Just in case there's not a season 3, it can sort of tie up maybe some of the loose ends from season 2, and if there's a season 3, it'll just, you know, kind of give a little more nuggets of the show out to, you know, while we get it together to do a full-on season. I feel pretty confident there will be a season 3 though. For reasons that are known to someone or someones who could be watching tonight, and you know who you are. It totally kind of, anyway, enough about that. Catherine, I think you're right. I mean, I'm hoping you're right. What is my favorite web series besides Old Dog's New Tricks? See, I hesitate to answer that because I've made a lot of friends in web TV. And again, it's kind of like being asked who's your favorite actor to work with. I can tell you a few that I would recommend. The Vanity is fun because it's got this like 80s primetime soap vibe. If you're a fan of those shows, I think you'll really enjoy The Vanity. Gossip Boy is cool. Oh gosh. Black Whites, Max DeBowen series, the Australian series. He's directing the first 4 episodes of our show. That's a really fun show. Oh my gosh. See, mental block. Hustling, did I say Hustling? Sebastian's show from New York is the production values are great. I mean, it looks like a multi-million-dollar feature film. Far From the Tree, I like that one a lot. Oh my God. I started watching this, I can't remember the name of it, but I stumbled upon this Spanish language one that actually shows, like, I mean, at least full rear end on YouTube. I've seen a couple episodes. Don't understand a thing that's going on because there's no subtitles, but it's like a gay telenova soap opera. Thank you. That one's fun. A lot of the shows I see, I tend to see like 1 or 2 episodes, and I either get distracted or fall, get into something else, or because I kind of, Quentin Crisp said his advice to writers is don't read because you don't want to be influenced by the style of the book you're reading if you're writing something. And I kind of feel that way about web shows. While I'm sort of in the midst of creating and promoting, I'm kind of not watching too many. And I'm sorry if I forgot, if you're, one of my friends. Pretty the series is one. It's funny. Oh God, The Inn is the new one from Steve Silverman, who did Pretty the series, which looks really interesting. Anyway, enough about that. Let's move on. I have to scroll up because there were so many questions. I was rambling so long. A straight guy is watching you right now and talking about ODNT tomorrow. I appreciate that, whoever you straight guy is, are. I think it doesn't really surprise me. If that doesn't sound too egotistical, it doesn't really surprise me too much when straight guys tell me they like the show. And there have been quite a few younger, more, and older straight guys. But, like, to use that tired comparison again to Sex and the City, my niece Leah, she's married to, he's this like football playing, beer drinking Hoosier, and Sex and the City was her favorite show. And when they first got together or got engaged or something, actually it was before the first movie came out, and he wanted to go with her to see it, but she said you wouldn't really get the movie. Whoops, you wouldn't get the movie if you hadn't seen the show. So she of course had the whole show on DVD, so he sat down to watch what was going to be a couple episodes and got totally hooked on it, and they ended up watching the whole series before the movie came out. So, straight guys got into that, and, straight women are getting into our show. I think the issues, if people aren't turned off by the sex, the issues of aging and all that stuff, I think are universal enough that it certainly is something people can relate to, hopefully. And hopefully it's funny enough. I mean, you don't have to be you don't have to be a woman of a certain age to enjoy the Golden Girls. I mean, preteens love that show. So I think if people can kind of just relax about the gay thing and give it a chance, I think we could be kind of have crossover value. Okay, now I'm scrolling down. DVD. Let's scroll back up. Takei. There's a question about George Takei. I am rambling. Okay, read more. Thank you, Lawrence. I'm rambling, Lawrence tells me.
Read more questions.
I'm trying to.
And answer questions.
I hate the way this scrolls down. It like pops back up when not Takei, even he wasn't. We tried to get George Takei to be in season 2. He was doing a play in San Diego when we were shooting, so it didn't quite work out. I'd love to have him on the show. Are you kidding? I mean, he's got such a huge following. That alone. Plus, I've met him a couple times at SAG LGBT functions, and he's very cool. He's really cool. Sorry for the close-up. I'm having. Sorry, folks. I'm having trouble keeping up with the questions on the scrolling thing. Okay, here we go. I think I'm back. Yes, Vanity is one solid soap, and the production values are great. Snowstorm. I miss snow. Yeah. Streamer 652231. Sebastian is doing interesting, really engaging stuff, and I like that it's kind of in this gray area. You don't see a lot of shows that kind of go by. You know? Lords, ask what I just asked about Takai. Rebel away. Thank you, Nora. No, we tried to get George Takai. Didn't work out. I explained that. I have not read Twilight. The world needs old dogs. Oh, God love you. Yes, I agree. Oh, that's a good question. Thank you. It's the authenticity in the character interactions. Do any of our experiences in our everyday life find their way into the storyline? Experiences certainly of my life have, because you know I've been writing the script, so I mean not all the situations or not even most of them are inspired by actual real events. Those that are tend to be you know, just the grain of an idea and then kind of buried and sprinkled and, you know, grows into something else entirely different most of the time. There are some things in the show that are pretty much ripped from my real life, and those things I'm not going to tell you what those are. But yeah, as for the interaction with the characters, if the question is, do we interact that way in real life, and is that what's spilling over? Not really. I mean, we see each other when we do, like we're going to be doing a lot of internet radio shows together, and that's always fun. I mean, we enjoy hanging out when we do hang out, but we don't have brunch. We should actually be fun, but they're all such good actors, we don't have to have brunch. You know, when we do it on set, it's kind of there. And I'm always, you know, things are happening in my real life where I'm always like going, you know, we could run for 10 years at this point, because I have so many ideas about, and so many of them are, you know, have sparks in real life. So yeah, but I can't, you know, I can't kind of, you know, go down the list and say, yeah, that was real life, and that did happen, and that didn't happen, and that sort of happened, that sort of happened. And, I go crazy. Okay, send some from Canada. Please send some snow from Canada. How do I keep my hair so curly? It's naturally curly. But you know, I can get one thing I do to keep it from being frizzy, which curly hair like mine tends to get. Like every 2 or 3 days, I will use conditioner in place of shampoo. You know, so like a little bit of conditioner, lather it up, rinse it out, and then more conditioner, and leave it in like conditioner, and then rinse that out at the end of the shower, like every 2nd or 3rd day. Yeah, if you don't shampoo it too much, it keeps it curly. That's my beauty secret, my tip for tonight. My hair tip. We already have 2 guest stars playing Leon's therapist. Wouldn't it be fantastic? Well, no, that was the idea. You know, there's a story about why we have these therapists. You know, Patrick Bristow played therapist in the finale in season 1. And I had planned for Nathan, my original thought was to have him have just the same therapist. And you know, how great to have Patrick Bristow playing that part. And the first time I've ever known an actor to talk himself out of a part, we were on set and he said, you know, wouldn't it be funny if, you know, Nathan should have like, his shrink should be like Murphy Brown's secretaries. He could have like a celebrity quack shrink every week. And I'm like, that's a great idea, Patrick. So I guess you're not interested in coming back? So yeah, Terry's in season 2. If there is a 3rd season, there'll be another shrink at George Takai. Oh my! That would be my bad George Takai impression. Best head of hair in Hollywood. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Do I wear contacts? No, I don't actually. I don't. I don't think I could do the, you know, after going this long in life. I'm not sure if I could even do it. And I've had some retina problems in this eye, as a lot of you already know. So I've had so many things stuck in this eye that I don't know if I could take it. I and also, you know, when I do theater, it's kind of nice not to have contacts because then the audience, I mean, you don't really see beyond the first row or two anyway. And some theaters you can't see anything because of the lighting, but when you can, it's kind of nice to just see blurry people and not be able to be like, oh my God, there's Lawrence, oh there's Arvin, there's, you know, it's kind of nice. Sometimes it's nice to have the world just kind of be in soft focus, speaking of which. That's better. Uncontrollable hair. Yes, the hair is uncontrollable. And you write 673-050. You know, they say write about what you know, and you know. But also, again, I'm a big advocate of like taking grains of life and letting them become something else. 7:37. Cool. I'm just checking the time because I don't want to forget about the drawing and all that stuff. There will be a third season. Yes, there is. Would I ever do more voiceover work? You know, I've done one animated film. I'd love to do more. It's actually it's harder work than you know, because you're in a small room and it's hard work. But I would like to do more. I'd like to do more kind of comedic, character-driven stuff. The one animated film I did, I was the the voice at a drive-through window at a drive-through sex change. It's a film called oh my God, I'm blanking out on the name of the film. Look on my website, leonacord.com. The first person who like gives me the answer will, I don't know, will drive-through. Thank you. Oh my God, drive-through. I can't believe I'm sorry. Oh my God. Well. But no, it would be fun to play Marley's Ghost, and Dave played. Yeah, it's yeah. And actually, the guy who played Scrooge the second time I played Marley, Justin Ross, is guest stars in season 2 later in the season as a snooty maitre d' who kind of has a crush on Nathan. I actually, when Pebs was going into audition for it, he was flying to Chicago one weekend. It was actually, I think, right after we had our meeting with Spearman. I wanted to see him and Pebs nerd together to get an idea of how they interacted together. And then after the meeting, Pebs asked if I would hang out and read the script to Scrooge and Marley with him at a coffee shop, just so we could, you know, read it with somebody. And it was an interesting script. It was good. And so yeah, that was fun. I'd love to play Marley again. That would be fun. Direct. You know, Arvin actually is, you know, Arvin Batista, who directed season 1 and is executive producer of season 2 and directing a couple episodes, is a killer animator. And shortly after we finished Deer season, he had a concept for a TV pilot called Animal Hospital. And he actually created a character for me in this cartoon. Can you call them cartoons now? This animated pilot. Named Leon. He was a hypochondriac goldfish. I loved it. He's a fish, right? You got to keep that in mind. His first line is he's being wheeled into the emergency room and says, "I can't feel my legs!" And, you know, being a goldfish, he doesn't have legs. That would have been fun. But Arvin graduated and immediately started working and getting offers. So it didn't happen, but maybe someday. Go through. Corey wins. Brain fade in my profile. Brain fade. I like that. It's better than a brain fart, Catherine. KT. Would I make it to the finals or get eliminated in the first Dancing with the Stars? You know, I think I'd make it about halfway through. It's funny, I frequently get asked, "Oh, are you a dancer? Were you a dancer?" Which I find crazy because I'm pretty much a total klutz. But I think it's just the height and the slight build. But no, I mean, I could fake it enough to get by the first few seasons, depending on, you know. If I had to lift somebody, maybe not so much. Hey, maybe Tom Beards and I can do it together. Do the remake of The Elf and Rudolph. Well, I'd have to get that flip going. But I could do it. Middle-aged Hermie. He is a good singer. Who's saying I'm a good singer? How does anyone know I haven't sung in like 30 years? How do you know these things? I am right-handed. Me, 849915. What do I do in my free time? Worry. Plot. What do I do? I don't have free time. I tend to just, if I do, I just space. I don't watch a lot of TV. It's appointment television. I think American Horror Story and Dallas are really the only two shows that I kind of watch faithfully. I like to eat out with Lawrence. We eat out not a lot, and not at big fancy expensive dinners. We just we like coffee shops. That's one of the things we do. We watch we do watch a lot of the same old movies a lot, Lawrence and I. I work a lot on the show. I mean, a lot of the times I'm just, well, as a lot of you know, I'm just online, plugging away, working on the show or working on promoting the show. I'm not going to sing, KT, no. No. Because, since I quit smoking cigarettes, my voice is like, I'm like the Brady kid whose voice changed. I can't remember which one it was. Christopher Knight, I can't remember the actor. Chocolate or vanilla? Both, actually. See, I'm a Gemini. I love vanilla, and I really like chocolate. So I can't. I have to have my ice cream and eat it too. We go to movies. Yes, we go to. Oh, so 849915 is Lawrence. Yes, we do go to movies. Not as frequently as he'd like, and I'd like to see them more too. Again, it's hard to. I'm always amazed by how much TV people in LA manage to watch. Successful, busy people, even with DVRs. I just can't seem to pull it off. Also, I don't find a lot of it that interesting anymore. So, Liza or Judy? Liza for comedic value. Judy for stick to your ribs talent. Voice work could be cool, but waste of physical presence or comedy. Favorite takeout? Chinese. Without a doubt. Although being in LA is a lesson in constant disappointment in Chinese food. Since when you live in San Francisco for 20 years, where the Chinese food is even like the little corner dumps in downtown San Francisco, the Chinese food is Chinese food. And I've yet to find a place in LA that is consistently good. Occasionally we'll order in and it'll be really good, and then we'll order in from them a week later and it's awful. So, and even when it's good, it's still not the same level as San Francisco Chinese. Also like Italian order in, but don't do that as much. What's the last movie we saw? I've seen a few. We saw Argo, yeah, but that wasn't the last one. We saw The Impossible with Naomi Watts, which I would highly recommend. It's really good. And I've started getting some screeners, so I've got Silver Linings Playbook that I need to watch, and a lot of films I need to get out to see. Madonna or Cher? Both. Again, I didn't really like Madonna until Truth or Dare, the movie. I was kind of coerced into seeing it, and that kind of won me over. So I like her, and my generation, we all love Cher. We grew up watching her on the Sonny and Cher show. Interesting stories about living in San Francisco. I was there for the '89 earthquake. I call that my Scarlett O'Hara period because it was like the burning of Atlanta. It was, I mean, I don't know how long the kids want to stay up, but that was an interesting San Francisco story. Do you want to hear it? Do you want to hear my earthquake story? Someone said they can't hear me live. Can you hear me? Of course, yeah, I can hear the thing we're doing. Okay, it was October 7th, 1989, and I was 12. No, I was mid to late 20s, and working in Civic Center in San Francisco. And it hit like at 5:04, and being, you know, the dedicated worker I am, I was out the door at 5 o'clock, and I was standing on the sidewalk outside the state government building, which is like this really old, like 1930s 6-story building. And I was looking at the newspapers in the, you know, the metal newspaper stand racks, you know, the coin-operated machines. Reading the newspaper through the plastic, and I noticed the USA Today and the Chronicle, and I noticed that the machines were like starting to, like, you know, not violently. It was just sort of like boom, 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 boom. And I looked up and I thought, that's weird. There's no wind. What's you know? I assumed it was like, you know, wind blowing them, sucking them into each other, and didn't think about it. And then just then, as I remember looking up, and it was like poof. And all at the same time, this like puff of just dust just went up into the air. Because I mean, the Civic Center is like, you know, old, you know, really old buildings with huge facades with columns and concrete, and really old, you know, underground parking and stuff. And at the same time that happened, like every car alarm, you know, for blocks instantly went off. And I was like, oh, that was an earthquake. I lived about 3 blocks away from where I worked. Thank God I didn't have to depend on Muni or anything. So I started walking home. Could see this dust over the neighborhood was just really interesting. And as I was walking home, it sort of hit me what had happened. And I had a good friend at the time who lived 2 blocks further away from my apartment who hated earthquakes. I mean, Charlie hated them. So I thought, you know, actually no, wait. He lived like 2 blocks between where I worked and where I lived. So I had to pass his place on the way to my apartment. It's coming back to me now. So I thought, well, I gotta, you know, I'll check in on him first. And just as I turned the corner to his street, he came around that corner and was like, freaked out. We walked 3 more blocks to my street, Geary Street, and there was in the days of payphones in the corner. So at that moment, there was nobody at the payphone. I couldn't believe it. So ran to the payphone, collect call from Leon Acord to call my parents. Went through, no problem. Got the operator, went right through. My mom like burst into tears when she got the phone call because I had an aunt who was watching the World Series when it happened, who called my mom. So she was relieved, and I'm like, so what's going on? You know, turn on the TV. Tell me, you know, turn on CNN or something national. And she's like, oh, there are fires. I'm like, where? There are fires everywhere. Well, Mom, what neighborhood? Oh, it's everywhere. And I finally calmed her down, and she told me, you know, it was just the marina, basically. And we talked maybe 2.5 minutes. And in that time, by the time I hung up, there was probably 20, 30 people in line behind me waiting to use the phone. This is the day before cell phones. I mean, cell phones, please. Then I went to my apartment, which was on the 9th floor. The elevator was out. Stupid me, I don't know why, I went up the stairwell with a lit lighter, you know, as a candle, which was incredibly stupid, because, you know, gas, boom. Didn't explode. But the walls of the stairwell, all 9 flights up, were just huge cracks just on all the walls. Got up to my apartment, which had like 2 walls were pretty much ceiling to floor windows. And nothing in the apartment was knocked over, nothing was fallen and broken, but every single window in the apartment was blown out. I think there were like 10 windows in the whole place. And survived 3 days without electricity. And oh, by the way, I was on my way to the ATM machine when it hit. So for like those first 3 days, there was no money, no electricity. So that's my San Francisco earthquake story. That night we actually went to a restaurant on the corner and there was no power. But, they had to serve it or, it was spoiled. But it was interesting. Most earthquakes, though, here in LA, in California, tend to be just like, oh, okay. They're really not that big of a deal. And they're really not that scary. It's usually, you don't even realize there's an earthquake until it's over and you're like, what just happened?
You're 10.
Shut up. Anyway, next question. Dim sum. Yeah, Philippe, if you find good dim sum in LA, please let me know because that would be an interesting new twist. What about the Easter one a few years ago? Did I fill that up in LA? No, I don't remember. I mean, if they're small, they kind of drift from memory after a while. Have I ever been on a cruise? No. Actually, let me check some of these more questions. Questions that Nora sent in. What singer or artist would I love to see who I haven't had a chance to see? I don't really go to concerts because I'm kind of cat-like. I don't like loud noise or huge crowds. I think Lawrence and I are planning to see Madonna just because we think, it's something two gay men should do before they die because we've never seen her live. Actually, you may have. Have you seen Madonna live, Lawrence Green? Yes or no? I'd like to see her. Favorite place to shop? Zara. I don't know if they have those everywhere. They probably do by now. They're everywhere here. I like Zara. I like H&M. I used to like this mail order place called Bacroc. But I haven't ordered from them in, 10 years. Yeah, I hear Madonna does a great show, so I would really like to see her. I've seen Blondie. I actually, when they first started their reunion, I think in '99, Lawrence and I were kind of groupies. We saw them in San Francisco. We saw them in Portland. Actually, probably twice in San Francisco. I think we saw them in LA. We saw them 3 or 4 times in concert. So, and it was interesting because each show was completely different. It was really fun. I like Pet Shop Boys and Erasure. Bucket list. Well, no, I wouldn't say Madonna. Seeing her live is my bucket list. I mean, I'm not going to be like on my deathbed going, I never saw Madonna live. I'd like to see her live, but What's my all-time favorite food? Nora would like to know. Just an individual food. Probably I could eat broccoli every single day, and would if I could, and have come close to it sometimes. As I said before, I love good Chinese food. I love a really good salad with just all sorts of stuff in it. Slice and bake chocolate chip cookies. You can take the boy out of the trash, but you can't take the trash out of the boy. Do I like spicy food? Not really, no. I can't do it. I mean, when I was younger, I really liked green peppers and stuffed green peppers and anything with green peppers, and it just kills me now. So I don't eat it, but it's really more just a intestinal discomfort thing than a taste thing. The computer in the background, is it an antique? Well, by computer standards, probably it's an iMac. I think, yeah, it's an old iMac. And, it's maybe 10 years old, if that. I do love cheeseburgers. That's another favorite. But one of my resolutions is to cut down on the cheeseburgers because, because they're cheeseburgers. They're burgers with cheese. So, all right. Do I have a favorite author? Quentin Crisp, of course. I don't really have any one favorite author that I read all the time. Part of the problem is that I tend to read mostly biographies or autobiographies or nonfiction. So I've read a few Stephen King. I think he's really great. I'm not a huge fan of the genre, but he's definitely a great writer. There's Laura's question. Should I draw the names for the DVDs? Dun 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 dun! Let's do our contest. Let's liven things up. So people started doing Old Dog's fan art. I wish they would, you know. I would love some fan art. I would love some fan fiction. What is that for? Slash fiction or something? I forget what they call it. I would love that. In fact, we've talked about doing like a contest on our Facebook page for fan fiction. So yeah, if anyone's so inspired, we'd love to see it, and we'll post it and share it, and we'll put it on our website. I think it's cool. I mean, that's one of the things I really love about web TV is that it kind of, the barriers, the walls are down, you know, and we get to connect with our viewers and you know, form a community as opposed to this sort of like the watched and the watching, you know. It's cool. So Cindy would love some Brad Fick. Yeah, I bet she would. Okay, did I miss anything before we go into this? Okay. Alright, so the 4 finalists in the Leon Acord First Paying Showbiz Gig Trivia Contest were bands, Mark, KT, and superfan number 1. There we go. Julie. So, the hat. Actually, Lawrence, if my lovely and talented assistant Lawrence would like to join us, so what I'm doing, I'm folding each name in half where the name cannot be seen and dropping it in the hat. Mark, I'm folding you in half and dropping you in the hat. Katie, you're in half. Well, we're at an hour, so I guess we'll go a little long. And Julie! Sorry, you're folded in half. So they're all in the hat. Lawrence, would you like to assist? I'll take that as a no. So, okay. So I'm not looking. Actually, how can I do this so you can see that I'm not looking? There we go. How's that? I'm not looking. I'm not looking. We're digging. We're digging. Okay, we've got it. Have it. See? And the winner is... Oh, I'm sorry. And the prize goes to... Mark! Dun, 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 dun. I think this is Mark Fitzhugh, right? Mark Fitzhugh? Dun, 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 dun. So Mark, the minute we go off the air, I will be autographing these to you. And Jason will be in touch for your... I'm sorry, I keep looking down here at the questions. I need to look up here. Jason will contact you for your mailing address, and we'll get these in the mail to you. I don't know if Mark's on. I don't think he is, actually. There's so many Ustreamers, I wouldn't know who's. I need to do some season 1 merch trivia giveaways. You know, people are fanatical about our show. I shouldn't say that. We've tried trivia contests before, and we have winners in 15 seconds. Julie, you know who you are. and it's not just Julie, I have to say. We tried to come up with questions that would be harder, but they're so obscure that it would take, weeks of research to get the answers. Let's see, trivia contest. I need to think about that. Yes, it's been an hour. Okay, so that's done. Shall I read Bruce Hart's questions? Bruce Hart, by the way, is coming back to season 2. He's in 4 episodes. Well, actually 5 if you count a voice appearance. And as the slogan in our advertising says, this time it's war. That's another thing I'm really excited for you all to see. I think you're really going to enjoy some of the scenes with Nelson Van Eddy. And that's all I can say. So anyway, here are Bruce's questions. And I just got this right before we went on, so I haven't even really read them. Do I think that any of the old dogs have ever dated each other? Well, I wouldn't say they dated, but Brad and Nathan hooked up. It wasn't even called hooking up back then. They tricked. That's what it was called back then when they did it back in the 80s. Disastrously so, and became friends as a result. I kind of have always had it in my head that I think that Muscles and Ross met as a result of Nathan trying to fix them up. So there might have been one not great date between Muscles and Ross. And actually there is there are 2 characters who do have kind of a history together, but I don't really want to talk about that too much because I may decide to exploit it more deeply later. So you can probably figure it out by the time you watch season 2. It's someone who's 2 people who are already been in the show already, whose history is kind of undefined. Figure it out. Muscles and Brad? Really? Muscles and Brad. Brad and Ross. I could see Brad and Ross before Brad and Muscles. Muscles, I mean, Muscles is very, very picky. But writers of fan fiction, feel free to make up your own stories. You can put anybody with anybody. You could have Lydia sleep with Nelson. I mean, that would be... Does Nathan own or rent his condo? He owns it, darling. Now that sounded like a Nelson question, not a Bruce Hart question. But yeah, Nathan owns his condo. You're actually going to see in season 2 all 4 of their houses inside and out, which is really exciting. We didn't really see that in season 1, but yeah, Nathan's condo, it's quite swank, and unfortunately you only see 1 or 2 rooms of it. It's a very nice location. It's actually probably much nicer than he could afford, so it's probably okay that we didn't see all of it. Another Bruce question. Do I think Nathan and Damien will get married? I can't answer that. I can't, see, here's the thing with Nathan and Damien is that, I mean, it ultimately, okay, I'm not going to say anything. Because who knows? I'd never say never, first of all, as a writer. Yeah, I nothing else. Okay, I should just sign off now. This would be a great time to wrap it up. And it's funny, the letters in don't are the initials of Old Dog's new tricks turned around. Anagram? Moving on. Last Bruce question. Have I ever considered making the series into a feature film? Yes, as in fact as early as season 1, one of the producers and I tossed some ideas around. He left the show for other gigs, so we probably wouldn't use those ideas. But I think if I would like to do a 3rd season before we do a film, and if we do a 3rd season, then yeah, that would be my next goal. You know, sooner or later, guys, I'm gonna have to work as an actor in other parts. So you know, there may be gaps between seasons or a season in a film. Not a huge gap, I hope. I mean, if I had my way, we just go from one and do them one after another after another. But yeah, hopefully, if we have a 3rd season, well, first of all, if season 2 is successful and warrants a 3rd season, and season 3 is even more successful, as long as we can like keep building our audience, then I think a feature after the 3rd season is totally doable. Catherine has. Oh, don't tell me your ideas yet, because you know. Tell the folks about the. Corey, I can't tell them about that tag. He did a search on Twitter to see who else was using hashtag ODNT. And one of them was a group called Old Dogs New Tits. Wasn't that? Yeah, Old Dogs New Tits. So maybe we'll change our name. I could certainly use any tits at all. So okay, those are all the mailed in questions. It is 8:07. Let's go till, what do you say, 8:15, 8:20, and we'll just finish the rest of the show with questions about season 2. And just ask me anything about season 2, and I'll just, you know, if it's something I can't answer, I won't. I'll try to answer them as much as I can without giving spoilers. But yes, please ask away, and I'll answer what I can. Keep talking. I can't keep talking if people don't give me things to respond to. Hey girl, what's up? Bye, Philippe. I will answer who marries Greg Louganis. I will answer that. It is another character on the show. It's someone who has been on the show before, more than once. It is a, well, yeah, kind of a regular character on the show. That's all I'm going to say. Of course, that could be Lydia, for all we know. No, I don't think. We wouldn't call it a gay wedding if he was marrying Lydia. Or would you still call it a gay wedding if the guy was gay and he married a woman? If that's the case, honey, gay marriage has been legal forever. Alright, keep those pictures to yourself. Do I ever get starstruck? Yeah, with Ian Buchanan I did quite a bit. That's really been it. I don't really get starstruck. First of all, I don't like going and standing. We saw the Poseidon Adventure at the Egyptian, and Stella Stevens and Carol Lindley and Pamela Sue Martin were there. And I'm just not the type of person to go up and wait in line for an autograph. I feel like an idiot. So I rarely have those kind of encounters with stars where I'm like, oh, could I please have a signature? Usually when I meet them, it's either at a party or a function or whatever, and I don't know. I try to treat them like royalty. Be very respectful. One thing I have learned, never tell an actress you've been a fan since you were a kid. They do not want to hear that shit. Learn from my mistakes. Star crushes? I have lots of star crushes. Not any I've met. Well, that's not entirely true. Yeah, I mean, you know, I tend to forget them though when they're guys that are just like, you know, crushes, as opposed to like actors I really like. I tend not to remember their names. Jonathan Sach was one. He's probably Jude Law. I think it's yeah, he's doable. He's a star crush. Joan Collins, no. please, I don't want to do her. I want to be her. There's something about 6. Who makes regular exams? There's something about 6 episodes. Sorry, I missed 6 episodes again. Sorry if I missed it. 6 episodes. No, we're doing 10 episodes in season 2. Nora says, I would say that if you and Damien will hit the sheets over and over, but that's not a question, is it, dear? Honey, you don't know that. Honey, don't be thinking you up knowing my business, honey. No. They, like I said, that teaser is just scenes from the first 2 episodes, and we're doing 10, and a lot of shit can hit fan in 10 episodes. Damien is a regular character throughout the season, but just gonna have to stay tuned. I've never been to Sundance. I wish. Hugh Jackman, yeah, he's doable. I've never been to Sundance, fans. I've come close a couple times, but no, would love to. I think it'd be fun, although it's awfully cold. You see those pictures of all the stars in their park, and they're just, I get cold just looking at it. It would be fun. I'd love to someday. Maybe the feature of old dogs will make it to Sundance. That would be cool. A number of online episodics have been created. I'm sorry, my cord's in the... A number of online episodics have been creating some engaging storylines via crossover with other web series these days. You know, we've talked about it. We sort of just kind of casually talked with Gossip Boy, just because, you know, they're kind of like a similar milieu as us. The thing is, you know, because so many web shows are grassroots, it's not like network TV where all the fall shows start at the same time, and then all the mid-season replacements start at roughly the same time, and then all the summer shows are all starting at roughly the same time. It's really hard to coordinate, and so often web shows will do one season, and that's the show. If Gossip Boy ever does it, if they do another season, and if we do another season and they overlap, that would be great. I did get asked, Sarah Tam's show, Adventures with Mary Jane, asked me to play Nathan Adler in an episode that I thought we were shooting in January, but I'm not sure now when we're going to shoot it. But yeah, I'd love to do that. If it happens, that would be great. I love crossovers, and I would love to do them more. It's just, again, it's hard to, you know, you want to do crossovers with shows you like and that fit with your thing, and once you're finally, the miracle happens and you're actually in production, it's kind of a situation of, okay, what show is also being in production at this period of time, and you know, that's not good criteria for picking something to do a crossover on, but would love to make it happen someday. A lot of shit can hit the fan in 10 hours. Do you think that would be a good pitch? 6, 7, is that Lance? Well, Vance, are you going to take me to Sundance? That would be great. I will give you my list of diva demands, and I'd love to go to Sundance. Although, you know, I don't know if I would like going to Sundance as just a spectator. I don't know. It'd be worth it, probably. I actually, you know, I mean, a lot of shit can hit the fan in 10 episodes. We may have to use that somewhere. Oh, the hunks aren't going anywhere, Nora. We're going to have hunks for as long as... I'd love to do a crossover with where the bears are. Oh, I wish I could remember his name. The really, well, of course everyone thinks he's gorgeous. I'd love to do a scene with him. Did I answer about crushes? I have a crush on the guy from Where the Bears Are. He's pretty crushable. Yeah, so there's him. Sebastian from Hustling. I don't really have a crush on him, but he's certainly crushable. If I ever met him, I probably would. I did sort of mention to Sebastian when we were getting ready to shoot season 2. There's a character that Brad has a story arc with, who's the porn star Rod Rodriguez. And I thought it would have been a perfect part for Sebastian, but he's, of course, in New York, and they were just starting shooting, or had just begun shooting their new season when we were in pre-production, so it didn't work. Well, Vance, lucky you. God. Burning Man, I'm not a Burning Man. No. I've been, well, not asked, but I've been asked about Burning Man. I grew up on a farm. I've done my dirt under the fingernails period. I really don't. I'm not into the roughing it. My idea of roughing it is no HBO, so. If I could be driven to what's really happening at Burning Man, let me get out of the car for 30 minutes, check it out, get back in the car, and then get me the hell out of there, I'd be all for it. But that's not the experience of Burning Man, so. Anyway, 3 more minutes and then we'll wrap up. Whoops, now my computer goes black. How do I spend my summer? Well, the past 2 summers have been spent plotting production of fall shootings of Old Dog's New Tricks. So it's funny, this summer particularly, I don't even remember a summer, really. It just was whoosh, and here we are. Now it's, started to say late fall. See, that's how out of the loop I am. It's actually midwinter now. So yeah, time has kind of stood still the past couple of years since I've been working on the show. So I'm really looking forward to this coming summer. Well, late spring, early summer, taking a nice vacation. And it may just be going up to San Francisco for a few days and seeing some old friends, and yeah, just it'll be nice to have a few days of disconnect. Ian Parks, Hot Toddy, that's his name. Oh my God, if you know him. I don't know if Lawrence is still watching, but yeah, give him my number. For casting purposes only, of course. Oh yeah, I like that No Hate photo too. He's a great photographer, and I could only wish I could only wish I looked like that in real life. It's very brushed. What about your crush from filming season 2? Not Damien. Do I have a crush? I don't think I had any crushes from season 2. Well, there is an actor, Michael Minto, who was a background artist in the wedding, and he actually came in to play kind of a principal extra role elsewhere, and I can't tell you where because it would be a spoiler, but he's pretty cute. I wouldn't say he was a crush, but yeah, I remember mentioning his attractiveness level on set, so if that's what you're thinking, that could be. I'm doing the smoke-free, which is probably why I'm so rambling and probably being really boring. He's got butt scenes in the WTBA ad. Who has butt scenes? Where? Oh, yeah, okay, I'll have to look at that. Leon, yes, look down. Yes, people do want DVDs of season 1 and 2, and we hopefully will have them at the end of season 2. So, that's something else we could sell to raise money for season 3 or the Halloween special. So, we just have to investigate it, and we just, limited manpower. So, anyway, it is 8:20. Oh, you'll get some autographs. Oh, and one thing I do want to say before we go, for the people out there who did contribute to us through Indiegogo, we haven't forgotten about you, and as soon as We get the new merchandise with the season 2 designs in the shop, replacing these. Then we're going to be putting those goodie bags together and sending them out as thank you. I appreciate the patience. It's just, again, with the limited resources, it's hard to produce a show and market a show and do merchandising on a show, you know, when you're only really a staff of, you know, 2 to 5 people. So thank you again for the patience. That's great. Absolutely, Lance. Absolutely. Love Eggs Benedict, you're on. So anyway, okay, that's it. All-nighter. I wish. I sometimes forget to mail things. It wasn't that I forgot to mail things. Sometimes it's hard to get autographs on things to mail. So that's was that delay. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you so much. I can't believe how this just flew by and we're like half an hour over and it just feels like it's been 20 minutes. So thank you for showing up. Season 2 debuts Wednesday, like I have to tell you, Wednesday, January 30th. I can't wait for you to see it. It's pretty fun stuff. And thank you again. And we'll be talking to you on Facebook. Thanks.